Coming up on Mountain News this morning, there was a shooting in Pikeville yesterday, but officers were able to act quickly. And a man was taken into custody after a run-in with the police.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News this morning.
Good morning, I'm Olivia Calfee. The time is 6:32 on July 25th. Now let's check in with Chief Forecaster Brandon Robinson for a look at your forecast this morning. And Brandon, I saw stars on my way to work this morning, so the skies were clear here, at least at that moment.
Exactly.
So hoping that'll stick around today, but
I think so. I think we'll see a mix of sun and clouds for the most part today.
Yeah.
Still a little bit of rain down south near the border, but for the most part, I think it's moving
keeping it positive.
on the way out. Exactly. For now, anyway. Let's take a look, see what's going on in the last few hours on the satellite radar loop, and you'll see had some showers overnight, a few more showers this morning, but they're scooting through parts of the Cumberland Valley into parts of East Tennessee. And we needed to check on Somerset because we were worried about them there for a second. First, tried to pull the camera up, it wasn't working, so I was just like, did something happen? No, they're okay. Everything's good down that way. A little cloudy this morning. Temperatures off the kind of a little bit off the scales there because it's a little bit cooler than we expect to see that. Most everybody else around them 60s, 70s out there this morning, so not too bad. Next closest to them, Irvin and Hazard and Clintwood, all at 61 for the cool spots this morning. Day planner back and forth with some clouds, some sunshine, some possible stray rain chance a little bit later on today, but the big story today and for the rest of this week is the heat. 89, your official daytime high. Olivia?
All right, thank you, Brandon. A shooting in one Pike County neighborhood sent a man to the hospital and another to the Pike County Detention Center. WYMT's Buddy Forbes has more about the arrest and the Pikeville Police Department's investigation.
When a call came through about a shooting in Pikeville Monday afternoon,
officers arrived within a minute to the scene. Fire departments on scene also located a male with a wound to the head.
First responders quickly found the person who was injured, but officers were told the shooter ran from the scene.
The victim was coherent and talking with EMS people and officers. That's how we got the description of the suspect.
Within minutes, crews began looking for the culprit, closing the street to traffic as the search ensued, soon locating Timothy Newsom of Virgie.
We do not know what he was doing in the area North Bypass Road in Pikeville, though.
With Newsom, the man they believed to be responsible, in custody, the gun found on the scene, and the victim on his way to the hospital for treatment, officers say the focus on community was still top priority.
As far as safety with the public, I think that was contained quickly. Put the drone in the air, which is a very useful tool to find out if there are more suspects at large.
And though the reason for the shooting is still unknown, it is believed to have been an isolated incident.
Even though we had a suspect in custody, you still got to make sure the area is clear for the public, make sure it's safe for the people that live there and people traveling through there.
Officers say the quick response and the agencies working together were important factors in keeping people safe. In Pikeville, Buddy Forbes, WYMT Mountain News.
The gun officers believe Newsom fired was found on the bank near the pond along North Bypass Road. According to the arrest citation released after the story was sent, Newsom told officers he hit the victim with the gun but did not shoot him. Investigators now believe the gun may have discharged into a wall after Newsom hit the man with it. Two men are facing charges after a run-in with police. Deputies with the Laurel County Sheriff's Office had a safety checkpoint in East Bernstadt Saturday morning. After a car came through the checkpoint, police determined 50-year-old Casper Hurley of McKee was a fugitive from another state. Police say they also found 60-year-old Freddie Lee Akers of Williamsburg under the influence. Both were arrested and taken to the Laurel County Correctional Center. A man was taken to the hospital after he was shot during a situation with police in Berea. It happened around 10:30 yesterday morning on Redbud Drive. Mayor Bruce Fraley says police were responding to a domestic situation when shots were fired. No officers were hurt, but a man involved in the domestic situation was shot once and taken to the hospital. We understand the man will be placed in police custody after being treated. A former Campbell County, Tennessee corrections officer was indicted for bringing contraband into a jail. Tennessee Bureau of Investigation agents began investigating claims of misconduct involving 43-year-old Michael J. McCarty, saying he reportedly used his position to bring contraband into the Campbell County jail to give inmates in exchange for payments. McCarty was arrested and booked into the Campbell County jail on a $100,000 bond. 2 Prestonsburg High School students died in a weekend crash. State police say the vehicle they were riding in overturned on Kentucky Route 680 after leaving the roadway early Sunday morning. The driver and 3 other passengers were hurt. Counselors were available at Prestonsburg High School, Adams Middle, and Adams Elementary yesterday. The Floyd County School System posted the names and pictures of the students on Facebook yesterday. The funeral for Kendra Jade Marino and McKenna Reese Barnett will be held Friday at 2 p.m. at Prestonsburg High School. A woman is dead after a crash in Harlan County. 59-year-old Abby Brock of Cold Iron was killed. Police say the crash happened just after 11:30 p.m. Sunday on US 119 in the Cold Iron community. Police say Brock was driving a Ford F-150 when she crossed the center line and hit a Mack semi-truck head-on. State police say US 119 near Miracle Road in Cold Iron will be closed Wednesday from around 10 to 11 a.m. for reconstruction. One person is recovering after a house fire in Wayne County. It happened early yesterday morning on Barton Court in Monticello. Firefighters from the Monticello Fire Department responded and were able to quickly contain the flames. We are told one person was taken to a local hospital with minor injuries. The cause of the fire is still under investigation. The Kentucky National Guard is honoring an Eastern Kentucky congressman who was once in their ranks. Congressman Hal Rogers enlisted for service in 1957, and yesterday officials with the Kentucky National Guard renamed the armory in Monticello in his honor.
This is a very special day that I cherish very deeply because I love this community and I love this unit, which is what I devoted my life to those many years ago. But I deeply appreciate the people doing this.
Officials with the Kentucky National Guard say this is their way to honor and appreciate all of the hard work Congressman Hal Rogers has done.
Coming up on about 6:40 this morning, taking a look at UVA WISE, which looks fantastic over in Southwest Virginia this morning. If I'm not mistaken, the story Chandler covered yesterday, I think, don't quote me on this, I think that's the baseball field back there. So that's where the properties they're getting ready to do with that renovation. 63 over there, pretty calm this morning. Temperatures generally in the 60s, pretty much region-wide, up again to about 62 there in Irwin. Looks like Clintwood and Hazard tied for the cool spots this morning at 61. We're not counting Somerset because Somerset's sensor is acting a little bit wonky this morning. 70 is a warm spot down there in Monticello. Outdoor forecast today, we're going to be seeing again temperatures running in the upper 80s, back and forth rain chances. Spotty is the key word to remember, and a mix of sun and clouds otherwise. After today, though, the heat is on. I'll tell you more about it coming up in just a few minutes. Olivia?
Thanks, Brandon, and thank you for joining us. The time is now 6:40. Still to come on Mountain News this morning. The Alabama woman who was kidnapped over a week ago reveals a stunning twist to her story.